Hey darlings, today I'm going to talk about how I made a paperback book. So my name is Kira Joel. I am an author and a narrator. I've written a few books and they are out on Kindle as ebooks, and I have done my first audiobook. So I wanted a physical copy. I wanted a paperback book, something I could hold and be like, yay, this is my baby. It's a physical thing. So I've been putting this off for a while. Kind of figured it'd take maybe like a couple hours. 7 hours later, and a lot of frustration and stress, I finally did it. And I don't even have it yet, so I don't even know if I did it right. But I'll know in a couple days if it turned out okay. So I'm going to talk about the process and what I did wrong and how it went. So I first went into KDP, so Kindle Direct Publishing, and went to set everything up, and a lot of it's kind of similar to when you're first setting up an ebook. It wants your description and the name of your book, and if it's part of a series, and your author name, and all of that fun stuff. I had already done that, I believe. And then it wants you to upload your formatted book. And so I was thinking, how does one do this? I don't know. But there's a template for Microsoft Word. Please excuse my love laughing in the background. So there's a template for Microsoft Word that you can use. And I was like, I don't have Word on my main computer, but I do, and I'll have it on a laptop that a friend gave me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have my laptop, I'm gonna get Microsoft Word, and I'm just going to copy and paste stuff into this template. But as I'm doing that, I'm like, this doesn't make sense, because all the pages, like the page breaks, seemed like they were different lengths, and I was like, what? Because they would all seem like maybe about yay big, but there are a couple that are like yay big, and I'm like, why? I still don't know why. I was very confused. And then it has like maybe 5 chapters that you can paste into, and then after that, you just kind of keep going. But I was like, what if I screw something up? Because each page, like the right and the left, are different, because obviously in a book where it comes together, it's going to be a different margin. And so I was like, what if I screw it up? And so I got all like in my head, and I was like, I don't know how to do this. And so I was like, yay, YouTube. So I hopped on there and found a guy who's like, hey, you can just use Kindle Create to do this. And I was like, because that's just what you use for formatting your ebook. And I was like, could it be that easy where I don't have to worry about like how big the pages are and all of that stuff? I was like, maybe I'll do that. And so I started following that, and he said, first put it into Microsoft Word so that you can reformat your table of contents. And I was like, okay, ? So I normally use Google Docs. So I put my book into a Word document. Some errors came up that Google Docs didn't catch. And I was like, oh no, like a while. A lot of times a while is 2 words. I feel very odd that I didn't know that. Like, I know some grammar stuff. I feel like I know a decent amount. That was one I never learned. So I was like, oh crap, I have this in here wrong in several places. And then also, using Google Docs, like the tab function does not translate over into Kindle Create very well. So I went through everything to make sure everything was indented correctly, because I found 2 or 3 spots where it just hadn't indented in like the beginning of a paragraph. And so I went through my entire book, actually went through my own version of my ebook to like see what it would look like for someone who's bought it. And I fixed that, re-uploaded that for my ebook, because I wanted everything to look all nice. But yeah, and then I went through my book again and got all those little things that Google Documents had not caught. So like I said, the a whiles. I feel like there are just a couple other weird little things that I was like, oh, I should fix these. And there were things I definitely ignored, like hyphens, where if you have like 78, wants you to hyphen in between. I'm like, I don't care. I am not fixing that because I don't care. Or like self-esteem, wants a little hyphen in there. I'm like, no, I'll make it 2 words. It's fine. It's fine. So that actually took a giant chunk of the time, was just trying to make sure that it was as error-free as I could make it. Because like your Kindle ebook, you can just fix stuff and re-upload, and then it will just fix your ebook. And it does seem to take a few days for it to actually like go through the system and fix it. But yeah, so in my actual book, like I was like, I want this as good as I can get it. I'm sure there's still some weird little errors in there, but hopefully I found as much as possible. So yes, that took quite a while. So anyway, get it in that, fix everything up, and then I also re-upload all the fixes so that my ebook is good to go. And then I upload the Word document into Kindle Create. I don't know why, because I don't know why I would need, like, I didn't get that part. I'm like, why do you need to do this? Because he's like, you have to format your table of contents because obviously you're not going to have hyperlinks in a paperback book. So I upload it to Kindle Create, and it just looked normal, and it looked like the book that I already had in Kindle Create. And then I went to take a gander at the preview and found which page number each book or each chapter was on. So it was tedious, very tedious. And basically went in, so it was like chapter 1, and then I'd do a bunch of dots, and then I'd be like page 6, and then chapter 2 and a bunch of dots, page 9, or whatever it was. So I basically kept toggling back and forth to get my table of contents all manually set up. But like I said, I don't know why I was supposed to put it into Word first. I don't feel like that's necessary. So we will see what happens when I do my second and third and whatever books. So yeah, that took a bit. And then the cover was a party and a half. So I have a cover for my ebook and for my audiobook. And so I was like, okay, so I have my cover. So then I need a spine and I need a back, and it's all one image. So it's your back, it's your spine, it's your like your front cover. And so I was like, okay, I mean, it's gonna take a bit, but I can figure it out. It'll be fine. So I used Canva, and I went in there, found my cover, and I was like, okay, can I make the canvas bigger? And I could not figure out how to make it like, so here's my cover, how to add space. Like I could not figure that out. I'm like, is this a thing you can do? I don't know. Because I just kept making my cover bigger, like to fit the whole image. So I was like, maybe I need to use something else. And I think I'd use like, is it Pixar or something? Some sort of like online editing tool. It's kind of like an online Photoshop. And I was like, okay, I'm going to use this. And I'm going to follow the template that is also in KDP. Because there's a template. You say how many pages your book is, what size it is. It makes you a template, and it says, okay, this is the front, this is the spine, this is the back, and make sure everything fits in here. You have to account for bleed, because how they cut the book is going to be slightly different, and so you need to be able to account for that. So I spent way too long trying to make it all work and get everything to fit. My love is still making weird noises. So I finally get that done. It takes me, I don't even know, too long. At this point, I'm like tired and bleary-eyed. I'm just like, kind of annoyed. So I go to save that. It needs to be like a print-ready PDF. And you can't save it as a PDF in Pixar or whatever it is. So then I think I like uploaded it to Canva and saved it as a PDF. Like it felt just so I don't even know the word to use, just very amateur and trying to use free or almost like cheap software to get this done. So anyway, I'm like, it looks decent. I've got it figured out, and I upload it. And it takes a very long time for it to load. And finally, eventually it loads, and it's like way zoomed in. It's like one person's eyeball and then like a very slight bit of the back text. And I was like, no. That was fun. That was a great time. So I was like, I followed the template. Like, it's the exact size of the template that KDP made me. It's fine. It's fine. So then I tried like resizing it. I tried all these different things to see if I could figure it out. And then when I resized it, then it was like way too small. It was like in the corner. I was like, no, why? Why? Like, I have made rack cards for my other business. I'm like, I mean, I'm not good at this and I have no idea what I'm doing, but I can usually figure it out, sort of, kind of. It was magical. It was magical. So then I'm looking back in KDP and it's like, we have a cover creator. And I was like, can I make this look decent and not like it's just super generic and cheap and awful? So I go into that and I'm like, okay, I can put my own cover on the front. So I do that, and then it already has my name and everything on the spine, and then I cut down my book description a little bit so it would fit. There's a little picture of me. There's like a little mini author description that I cut down too. And I'm like, okay, this is okay. And as long as it works, like, that was a lot easier to do. So I uploaded that or whatever. I can't even remember if you upload it, if you're just like, oh, that looks good. So I did that, looked at the preview. It looked okay. I again glanced at all the pages and all of that looked fine. And so I was like, I think I'm good. So then I submitted it, and then like sometime I think in the middle of the night, it's like, your paperback book is ready. So it says it takes up to 72 hours. Luckily it took like maybe 12, or no, less than 12. I don't know. Didn't take very long. So I ordered me a couple. And then I realized after ordering them at full price that I could order them at print cost. Like at cost for myself as the author. But I'll make like a couple dollars off of my own sales. So yeah, just magic times in not knowing what I'm doing. But hopefully I'll have my paperback books soon. Hopefully they will look lovely and normal and everything will be fine in them. We'll see. And then I can do that for my other books someday. We'll see. But yeah, so that's how it went. I feel like if you knew what you were doing, it would not take very long. Like, maybe you could even do it in like half an hour at the most. Maybe, I don't know, I could be just lying out of my ass. But I feel like, because it's just the part that's more annoying is just making sure your table of contents actually lines up with the pages. Like, once I got into the cover creator, it was pretty easy. So yeah, there's ways to do this much more easily than I did it. Learning experience, fun times. Okay, so I hope that was helpful in some sort of way. Maybe someday I'll be fancy and I'll actually like show you step by step. But I'm sure there's people who do that. So yeah. All right, thanks for watching. Okay, bye.